President Trump has dropped a trade bombshell. He announced new tariffs on goods from China, Mexico, and Canada. This move sent shockwaves through the global market. The tariffs are a major escalation in Trump's trade wars. They target three of America's biggest trading partners. The new tariffs are significant. Chinese imports will face an additional 10% tariff. This adds to the existing 10% tariff imposed earlier. Effectively, Chinese goods will now face a 20% tariff. This is on top of any pre-existing duties. Mexico and Canada are also in the crosshairs. Both countries will see a 25% tariff on their exports to the U.S. These tariffs are set to take effect on March 4, 2025. The timing is no coincidence. It coincides with the start of China's annual parliamentary meetings. This is a crucial event for the Chinese leadership. The tariffs threaten to overshadow the proceedings. The Trump administration claims these tariffs are necessary. They argue that China, Mexico, and Canada have not done enough to stop fentanyl trafficking into the U.S. Fentanyl is a powerful synthetic opioid. It has been linked to a surge in overdose deaths in America. The U.S. is grappling with a deadly opioid crisis. Fentanyl is now the leading cause of death for Americans aged 18 to 45. The drug is cheap to produce and highly potent. This makes it a lucrative market for traffickers. Statistics paint a grim picture. In 2023 alone, over 72,000 Americans died from synthetic opioids. Fentanyl was responsible for most of these deaths. The U.S. has stepped up efforts to intercept fentanyl shipments. Seizures of the drug at the southwest border have increased. However, the amount seized is still alarmingly high. The Trump administration argues that China is a major source of fentanyl. They claim that Chinese chemical companies are producing the drug and its precursors. These are then shipped to Mexico and Canada before entering the U.S. The administration also points fingers at Mexico and Canada. They accuse both countries of not doing enough to secure their borders. This, they claim, allows fentanyl to flow freely into the U.S. The new tariffs have been met with anger and frustration in Beijing, Mexico City, and Ottawa. China has denounced the tariffs as unilateralism and protectionism. They argue that the U.S. is using fentanyl as an excuse to wage a trade war. Chinese officials point to their own efforts to crack down on drug trafficking. They highlight the thousands of drug-related cases they have cracked down on in recent years. They also emphasize the tons of drugs they have seized. However, they have not provided specific data on fentanyl trafficking to the U.S. Mexico and Canada have also expressed their displeasure. Both countries have been working with the U.S. to address migration issues. They see the tariffs as a step backward. Mexican officials have warned that the tariffs could damage their economy. They are considering retaliatory trade measures. Canada has also hinted at possible countermeasures. Both countries maintain that they are committed to fighting drug trafficking. They insist that they are doing their part to stem the flow of fentanyl into the U.S. The new tariffs have far-reaching implications. They come at a time of heightened tensions between the U.S. and China. The U.S. recently labeled China a foreign adversary. They have accused China of unfair trade practices and intellectual property theft. The tariffs also threaten to disrupt global trade. China is the world's second-largest economy. Mexico and Canada are major U.S. trading partners. The tariffs could lead to higher prices for consumers and businesses. Moreover, the tariffs could undermine the fight against fentanyl trafficking. Cooperation between the U.S., China, Mexico, and Canada is crucial to tackling this issue. The tariffs could poison the well, making it harder for these countries to work together. The tariff tango is a dangerous game. It remains to be seen who will blink first. What is clear is that the stakes are high for everyone involved.